All right, so this is the whole idea about Bob Lazar. Again, the 9 UFOs. But the reason why this video was created, okay, is simply for one thing, is to try to get those people who have worked at S4, who have worked at Area 51 to come forward, perhaps, okay? I don't likely think they will come forward, but you never know, and that's the thing, because I know the crowd out there, the Bob Lazar's crowd, Bob Lazar's fans are hungry for that knowledge. They want to know, and I know that Bob Lazar knows more than what he shares, okay? He's just not telling us for many different reasons, okay? Simply for protection, for his own protection from S4. You know that S4 is on his butt because of that. And if he goes too far, who knows what might happen, okay? And that's what he's trying to prevent. I can read between the lines what he left there on his website, saying about the Zeta Reticuli, that they left the planet. Well, he said that. I know why he said that, and I'm sure you already know why he said that. Simply to protect his butt. Because if he said, oh yeah, they're right there, you know what would happen, right? And that's what is what's keeping Bob Lazar and S4 relation in peace, because he will not disclose this information to the public about Zeta Reticuli, the truth behind them, and the reason is because simply to keep peace with S4. I told you why. It's not something to joke around, because military wants to protect those Zeta Reticuli. People don't need to know that, and Bob Lazar knows that too. He already told public enough already, and the reason he did it, and the reason why he rubbed it in, and we really don't know if his full story is authentic, and what things he might have added to the story to make it even more believable, to protect himself from S4, you understand? So he might have added few things in there to really convince the public that if something happened to him, it would be S4 who did it, okay? And that's the reason why he rubbed it in with those footage, if you ever seen him holding a gun and dogs and things like that. So was he really at the gunpoint? That is the question. Or they just let him go. Maybe they just trust him. But what he knew that he better protect himself, because simply they just could pop him, right? So he made a great decision to go to the TV station and tell everybody about it, okay? Because nobody's gonna trust you, invite you to their home and show you 9 bags of gold like I talked about before, and they let you go the next day thinking nothing of it. Of course they're gonna come after you because they don't trust you with that information. And even now they might stage this, okay, as a suicide, because simply they're gonna say, oh well, Bob Lazar was under distress because of so much pressure from the public pointing fingers at him, calling him a liar, and all this pressure building up. Eventually he just commits suicide. But that will be somewhat a reasonable scenario. And even now in this COVID-19 pandemic, who knows, they might do that to him as well on purpose, just to protect the Zeta Reticuli's whereabouts. But look at this. The thing about this Zeta Reticuli that possibly could have come to Earth since 1961 in Barney and Betty Hill story, and what really is going on? Some questions do pop up in my mind here at Block Tornado. Simply, were they some sort of prisoners on their planet trying to escape Zeta Reticuli solar system, but something along those lines could happen to Zeta Reticuli, okay? So anyways, if you're someone that perhaps has seen or heard anything about Bob Lazar, work with him, and I know there's a lot of scientists that work at S4 and they know Bob Lazar really well, and they know a lot more than Bob Lazar too, right? Because Bob Lazar was just one of those scientists that worked there amongst many. So now that is the question. Are there people out there, and I'm sure the public wants to know, we already had this Area 51 raid going on, look at the pressure building up, curiosity building up, something's got to give, something's going to break, we need to find out Where are those 9 UFOs or the Zeta Reticuli? I mean, Bob Lazar just talks openly about it on his website, about the Zeta Reticuli being there at S4. There's got to be a lot of footage there because of that, from that, you know, if that's the fact. Where is the footage? I mean, Skinny Bob, I don't think so that's gonna do it, you know. There's got to be a little bit more of a proof, you know, and we always have this staged footage like Skinny Bob, you know, where it's perfectly filmed and so forth. It's not the type of footage we want to see. We want to see something, you know, and there is footage there and they walk it in motion and so forth, and it looks very believable, believe me. But on Ivan's 0135 channel. But the thing is, you know, it's still not the best evidence, and I do talk about that in Skinny Bob video that I made about decoding Skinny Bob, comparing the two footages with Stan Romanek, Alien at the Window, and Skinny Bob video, and comparing the two simply by judging or analyzing their eyelid movements. You know, they blink totally different, and if they're from the same solar system, the Grays, the Zeta Reticuli, unless they're two different species of extraterrestrials, then that's a different ballgame. But if they're both Grays, then one of them is lying because they don't move the same. One is very animatronic-like, and another one moves extremely fast, which to me looks like it's CGI. But anyways, that's just my opinion in Skinny Bob decoding Skinny Bob video, okay? But really, some video, some footage does look authentic, especially the movements when they walk. Really, it's very difficult to produce something like that with CGIs in those days, perhaps because they didn't have this motion suits. Okay, really, you had to do all that with a mouse and to make this animation walk cycles, and that's very difficult if you don't have some solid background in animation. So now let's keep that aside of this. But now I meet a lot of people in this UFO groups on Facebook, and you know, if you want to join my group, by the way, it's called Alien Warriors. You might want to look into that. But some of these groups, such as UFO Hunters, have a lot of people there, you know, that talk about their experience with other people and etc. But what's interesting about that is that you know, there's a lot of people with some serious information there that, you know, is the type of information I would like to get on my channel. Except you never know who they are. Okay, you might be talking to someone who just posting stuff there, but you know what? That person could have some serious information that, you know, that it most likely might not even want to share with us, but is probably searching for information himself, as a matter of fact. But and that's why it's always good to join those groups, because you never know what type of information you'll get. So hopefully, I'm hoping the type of information will come to my channel, especially when it comes to Bob Lazar. And like I said, I have my own opinions about Bob Lazar, and so do you. But where does it all end on the end of the day with his story? And like I said, to me personally, it's about those 9 UFOs. Where are they now? Because it would be so much nicer if they just show us, oh, look, they're right there. Have a look. No big deal. You know, that would be so nice, so we can sleep at night, okay? And Bob Lazar's story is no longer a mystery. And you know what? As a matter of fact, I'm so tired of many of these mysteries that are going on for thousands of years now already. I mean, we're still not able to decode pyramids. We can't get to the Bob Lazar, the bottom of his story, Nazca lines. But let me tell you, this whole thing with extraterrestrials, okay, got something to do with these orbs patrolling our sky, especially right now because of this COVID-19 pandemic. You know, the skies are clear, there's no air traffic, and they're not afraid of us now because there's no airplanes. We're not scaring them away, okay? And we're seeing this footage of orbs more and more in fleets, as a matter of fact, on this UFO groups on Facebook, okay? And again, please don't forget to subscribe here at the bottom right and give it a thumbs up in case you would like to get to the truth, okay? And I'm trying to give that truth to you as much as I can, connect the dots. It doesn't cost you anything. All you have to do is press that hit notification button and hit the subscribe button. That's all there is to it, okay? And just forget about it. And then as soon as my new video comes up, you find something interesting or you don't, and you move on, okay? But literally, I wouldn't be making this channel if there wasn't something worth talking about. And literally, as much as you, I'm trying to get to the truth, okay? I'm a truth seeker. I like to know about those extraterrestrials, and I imagine you do too, and that's why you're here. Who doesn't, right? So now, where are those 9 UFOs? If anybody has information on this, please share some of that information with us if you'd like to, if you can, okay? I understand this is sensitive information. It's not something everybody should know about. But the story has been so old now that perhaps it's time to get this on the open, okay? And maybe you want to share this video if you're someone who agrees with me, okay? That we had enough of this already, and there are people that can reveal this information right now as I speak. They can tell us where they are, okay? And that's what we're trying to do here at Blog Tornado today in this video, to encourage those people to share this information. Why, keep it hidden from everybody? We're sick and tired of this. I know there are security reasons, and so I can understand from that point of view, but but if you think that some of this mystery can be resolved and it's time for it to come out in the open, and please, share this information if you'd like. Maybe other people will, like to hear about it as well. This channel is slowly growing, and eventually, when it reaches more subscribers and so forth, maybe we can, get to the truth somehow, somewhere out there, hopefully, if we're lucky. But all I'm doing here today is to encourage you, if you're one of the people who worked or know somebody at S4 or Area 51, that you're capable of sharing this information and you think it's okay, then please do so. We want to know. I'm not the only one here. I'm talking on behalf of thousands of people, thousands and thousands of people that want to know where exactly are those 9 UFOs that Bob Lazar talked about. Where are they now, and what happened to Zeta Reticuli? Okay, we know they never left. Okay, he's using that simply to protect himself. He's not gonna go say, okay, they're right there at S4. No way. So obviously he's gonna say they left the planet, and he made that explosion deal that happened and killed 40 scientists. You see there, he says 40 scientists. They killed a lot of people just to make it more believable, to make you believe that it really happened, but it never happened, okay? Because he said something fatal in there, and I talked about this before in Bob Lazar and Zeta Reticuli Expanded, which I talked about something he mentioned there that didn't make much of a sense to me, and it was, so what happened there is that extraterrestrial were training the S4 staff for the exchange for the materials, and he mentioned there also for the fuel, and I just didn't understand what exactly he meant by fuel. What type of fuel is he talking about? Because at that time they didn't have element 115, so S4 wouldn't be any good to them. But if they're talking about gas, then what the heck would you need gas? Like, what fuel are you talking about, really? That was my kind of suspicious thing here at Blog Tornado that I talked about, the fuel part. Unless they need it for the car to drive around with, but I highly doubted that was it. So, and the gas won't be any good for the UFOs neither, so why did you need the fuel for? So anyways, and that's what I would like to talk about today, simply, because I meet a lot of people at this UFO groups there on Facebook. And again, if you want to join my group, it's called Alien Warriors, would be much appreciated. Maybe, you want to talk about something personally to me, then I would love to hear from you. That would be great. As a matter of fact, I love UFOs, so do you. And if you have something to share with me, do share it, please. And again, if anything, you can subscribe here at the bottom right. That would be also appreciated. But notification button there would be a lot more appreciated, because that way I can deliver more videos to you. You know when they're coming, so you can come back and check what's going on. If you don't like it in the first few minutes, fine, understand, no problem. But could be in another video coming up that you might find something interesting, and you'll be notified again. So that's why I encourage you to hit that notification button to know what's going on here at Blog Tornado. But really, bottom line is to hunt for the truth, and there's nothing more exciting going on our planet right now but to know where exactly is that technology that Bob Lazar talked about. And he already talked about it so many times. about how advanced these UFOs are. You already know all that about, you know, dark matter, antimatter reactor, and mini particle accelerator that these UFOs have inside and can produce their own anti-gravity. That is a type of technology, my friends, that it will take some time to even get there. We cannot right now contain antimatter in any kind of shape or form. Okay, anything that antimatter comes in contact with will be simply annihilated, gone, transformed into a different energy, but will no longer exist. So that's why we don't have the technology to actually contain the antimatter in the first place. But these UFOs do. So where are those UFOs, this technology? But what does that all mean on the end of the day? That is the question. What does this all mean? What am I talking about today? You know what it means? It means perhaps that if we know where these UFOs came from, for what city out there in the universe, we have to know, right away we know it's a lot more advanced than ours. That's a fact. But what could this extraterrestrial offer us right now that could solve problems here on Earth, such as pollution and social problems, war, you know, all kinds of problems we have to deal with on our planet that we just can't seem to solve. But they've been there, they have done that. They know perhaps what needs to be done. Anybody that can put such technology together that can actually have its own anti-gravity system and mini particle accelerator and can contain antimatter, that tells us something about this extraterrestrial technology, that whoever built them is highly intelligent. It can help us solve some of these problems we're having here on Earth. It's a shortcut. I'm telling you, it's a shortcut. This technology 60 years ago, or whatnot, 40 years ago, that Bob Lazar already talked about 40 years ago, is simply, you know, already existing a long time ago out there in the universe. Right now, as we speak, the future, people, is out there. It's not here on Earth. Okay? It's out there as we speak. That technology exists because there's many other civilizations out there, and they're a lot more advanced, simply because we're not the first in line. Just by judging from what these alien abductees are telling us, for what kind of technologies these extraterrestrials possess, that tells us something, that we're not first in line as far as our evolutionary process went. Okay? But if we can go right through the block instead of around the block, which will take who knows how many hundreds of years before we get there to that type of technology, you know, why not? Why not? Then we can all live in peace in some sort of, you know, peaceful life for everybody, not just for individual people here on Earth, for everybody. With this type of technology, we know that these extraterrestrials have some heavy-duty knowledge and how to about going to develop a social life better, of course, and more advanced, because they've been through all that. Okay, so they can help us with that. And why, you know, that's sort of like winning a jackpot. Okay, and we have potential because they are visiting us, and we have to find a way to establish communication with them, like you know, Dr. Stephen Greer is doing in his Encounter of Fifth Kind documentary. Okay, that's something that, you know, it's a step towards that goal that I'm talking about, that freedom. Okay, and hopefully that we'll get there soon. So again, why go around the block when we can go right through the block? That is the question. And that technology could help us, and that's the reason I would like to know, where the hell are those 9 UFOs right now? Where are the Bob Lazar's UFOs? So again, if you have something to say, please add it here below in the comments. I would like to hear from you. That would be much appreciated. Thank you very much. If you'd like to subscribe here, please subscribe here at the bottom right. Give it a thumbs up. That will be much appreciated. Thank you, thank you. And hit that notification button, okay, so you know what's going on. Again, you might like 5 minutes. You don't like the 5 minutes of this video, you go to another video. You might like that video instead of this one, okay? But you never know. Some of these videos that I make could have a valid point. Something might interest you. That will be great, okay? If you're not satisfied, then there's some animated video there as well that you might want to check, which is Spirit Gimmick or New World Order thing with artificial intelligence and the gates. You might like that too. Okay, so thank you very much for staying all the way here. Please come back to see what's going on, and check out also my video regarding how to hunt down a real UFO. Now, it's a method, just a technique that might attract a UFO. Like I said, none of that you want to take literally by hunting them down. Like I told you, what type of technology they possess, and Bob Lazar talked about this, that actually caused a mini nuclear explosion at S4 and killed a lot of people. And that's perhaps the truth, because S4 is no longer on the map near Proposed Lake. Okay, it's been flattened, it's gone, it's dry land. And the reason it's dry land, simply because it's UFO explosion. They tamper with it and it exploded, and that could explain why it's not there. And also, I think because once Bob Lazar let the story out in the public, of course S4 ran, erased themselves off the map, because they don't want the public to know where those UFOs are, which Bob Lazar pretty much told everybody where they are. And to protect those Zeta Reticuli, simply they packed their bags and left, because they know the US public also possess a lot of power as far as weaponry goes, and you know, they could be actually a threat to them, to the US military. Either way, you don't want to play with US military. But again, like I said, stay protected, stay at home right now with this coronavirus pandemic. And yes, these orbs are going to be popping out all over the UFO groups on Facebook. And please join me at Alien Warriors, that's my group, or UFO Hunters, a big group of people there as well. And that's pretty much all I would like to talk about. And again, let's keep all those people, victims of coronavirus, in our hearts, in our prayers. Let's pray for them. If you get this virus, you'll understand what's going on, and you understand what it means when somebody's praying for you. Okay, so you will need it. And with so many lives lost right now, it's been a ridiculous thing. And not just that, now it's spreading on to animals as well. Okay, so hopefully that we're gonna get to this vaccine very soon. I don't know what the hell is going on, but it's about time, you know, these vaccines should be popping up already. Either way, and that's pretty much all I want to talk about, and thank you again. And like I said, please subscribe here at the bottom right, that would much appreciate it, and I will see you next time. And keep your eyes in the sky in case you see a UFO fly by. God bless.